Hello and welcome back to Gary and Reaver vs Settlers 2 Gold Edition. We are continuing on to Chapter 4 on the High Seas. The 9th day of the 9th month of the 4th year. Yesterday we met a stranger of truly frightening appearance. He is huge in size, has light blue eyes and glowing golden hair. We think he may be an angel. Long ago in a Roman harbour tavern I once saw, heard stories of such people who live in the far north. How did he get here? He is suspicious and refuses to talk to us. We shall treat him as our guest for a few days. The poor fellow appears to be starving. Perhaps then he will change his attitude. Just straight up front, this is my second attempt at this level. I tried it once, I played it for like 3 hours, and I got into a grinding war, and I wasn't doing well. It was frustrating to me and would have been boring for you. So, I'm trying again. First of all, I need to start expanding to get this stone. So I'll just hook that up. Another thing is, after last time discovering that there is a zoom button, while I was editing the previous episode, I also noticed that there was another button. There is a speed up button. I don't know how much it speeds it up by. The guess seems to be about double the speed. But yeah, that is, there is a fast forward button, which I didn't realise was in this. But for the purposes of not making the same mistakes again, I am going to try and do, because I completely ignored the decision I came to at the end of the previous episode, which was like, I need to set up an army base in the middle of my territory to promote a load of people, and then attack suddenly. Because I didn't do that, and I wish I had, because I do really think it is a good way of playing this. I built the wrong thing here. I built a quarry that was supposed to be a barracks. 16th day of the 9th month of the 4th year. Well, what wonders a little generosity can achieve. The blonde giant told us he is a member of a race that called themselves the Vikings. He says that they live on a large island not far to the east, but they were conquered by a hostile tribe. His name is Eric. What a strange name. We should call him Ericus. If we are to believe him, he is a shipwright by trade. My heart beats faster at the prospect of soon being able to board a ship again, hearing the waves under the keel, the cries of the seagulls and the people we have lashed to the hull, and the wind in the sails. But first of all, we must construct a shipyard in a harbour. And this introduces... look. Where is he? There he is. Hello. Oh, just closed it. Hello, Ericus. How's it going? So this icon is for the harbour building, which is like a unique thing only for the campaign, and it is important you get that up and running sooner rather than later. Oh yes, I also thought of another trick, because a bit of a problem is that your higher level people go into the barracks first. Just because of the way it works, it goes from the top down. And I think that is because of this one, strong defence. If I set that to weak defense and then reconnect these places, I'm hoping it will swap them out for weaker people. Or maybe just in the future it'll only put weaker people in your defences. So we've got a sergeant and 5 private first class who would normally be the default for this place, so let's see who goes there now. The trick, in fact, works, because that's a private. Fantastic. As you might be able to tell from this island, sorry, I'm going to be sort of spoiling a few things about this level, because I played it once, I spent a very long time playing this, and yeah. This island you start off on has so much in the way of resources, like a shocking quantity of resources, but the things that it's completely lacking, like I would normally geologize these mountains, I don't need to, because it's all coal. Like, literally every mountain, apart from one on this entire island, is coal. Which means you have to use the harbours to get iron, which is why I say you do need to do them sooner rather than later. Because in my previous one, which I promise I'm not going to refer to again after this, in the previous one, I discovered this way too late and had just no iron at all. Okay, it seems the barracks haven't automatically replaced the stronger ones with privates. So I think I can trick it. If I set that to maximum, that should then send out a load of privates who are going to go stock all of these places. Once they are then stocked with privates, I will then reduce that back down to the minimum, and hopefully that will mean that the stronger soldiers will then come away. So you'll see all of these have privates and more promoted ones. So if I now go back into here and reduce that back down to... Yes! I'm learning these tricks. Like, I haven't looked that up. That is a trick that I've worked out myself about how to game this game. Because it's tricky. It's tricky working around the way the mechanics work, but there is enough there for you to play it the way you want to. So the way the harbour works is it is essentially a warehouse, but you can also use this button here to send expeditions. And for that you do need a shipwright, and there is nowhere really for a shipwright. So I'm just gonna... I don't really want to stick one there because I'm gonna turn this area into a forest, but I'll have to find somewhere else for it. What I plan to do with this one is essentially strip this island of resources apart from like the foresters and stuff, and set up quite a robust economy with a heavy focus on soldiers, as I believe I should be doing every game. But for now, that is the plan. So I'm gonna sort of speed through it essentially and just harvest as much of this as I can, just because there isn't really space to expand. Like, I've now got space to build a barracks here, but whereas before that was all trees and so on, so I don't have room to build one here yet, which is why I've got the quarries. The first stone deposit is done. As you can see, I'm making good progress on stripping this island of everything valuable and, you know, beautiful and stuff. Oh, I can put another harbour over here. Might not be a bad idea. Now my shipyard's up and running. So what he does is he produces either canoes for doing the little water routes, or ships. So I'm going to set him on ships for now. Alright, here looks like a good spot for that fortress. And I know it's still like nowhere near where the enemy is, but I feel I need a fortress in the centre of my land in order to train up some guys. So what I will do is I'll set, because I'm expecting that to be white flag like that, meaning it's in the interior of my land, I'll set that to maximum soldiers. So all of the barracks that are still connected to the road and the fortress are all going to fill up entirely with privates. I will then have that as the only place where coins are allowed, and that will therefore send all the coins there and promote mass numbers of people at once. Then, when they're fully promoted, all I have to do is turn down the number of soldiers deployed. It then sends all the generals back home, and turn it back up again, brings all the privates back out. As you can see, the shipwright from the shipyard is coming down to the shore, the ship shore, to build a ship on the shore. Alright, look at that little mess of roads that are left after the quarries are done. I should probably fix that. As you can see, I really made an effort to stick to the edges for the barracks, and that's because I plan to have a load of farms. I've already got 3 placed, and they need to be about this distance apart in order to ensure you get the full fields around the farms. That one might actually be a bit too close. My next harbour is ready, and those I'll be able to use as soon as this ship is done. So actually what I should do is, let's go from this one as there's been stockpiling stuff. If I click Start Expedition, what it will do is, as you can see, the stones have now piled up outside and there is a builder waiting. When that is sort of fully stocked and has a ship on which to do the expedition, it will then sail out and allow you to make a base on another island. I think I need to decide where my main transportation line is going to be. Oh, the fortress is done, fantastic. And I'm thinking it should be along the bottom here, because that's where the harbour is. You know, that's the only way through there. I'm not going to have it going over the mountain. And then that frees up all of this space to not have like crisscrossing roads and stuff. And I can just have like the smelteries and other production lines like that all in this sort of area. But I'm going to turn off coins going to this fortress for now, just until it is fully loaded with men. And then, oh, my ship's ready. Neptune. Neptune sails. So as you can see, it is fully stocked up. It's picked up all of the things, and then what I do is I say, go south. So let's actually follow Neptune. And now that I've decided this is going to be my main road, I can then start doubling it up and having these like double lanes all the way along it, because they double the transportation speed. It's interesting that I can build a barracks there. that tells me that that's sort of a border point. Like, if I can there as well, yeah. I reckon that, like, the bit where these two cross over is sort of running through the middle like a fault line. So what I'm tempted to do is, because this barracks is sort of in the way, I'm wondering if I slip a barracks in here, and then I slip another one in sort of a bit lower down. I might not be able to with that. What I'm trying to do, you see, is free up this space for another farm. Or two, perhaps. Ooh, Neptune has stopped. The ship sails down to, like, predetermined points. So, like, if I say, no, I don't like this one, go elsewhere, it will then sail on to the next one. So let's just scout them all out, and then we'll see which one we like. Here is another possible landing spot. That one looks not bad. The other one had mountains, but this one has open land. Now that I've built this barracks, I'm fairly confident that I'm not going to lose like land around here. So when that one's built, I'll then remove this one, and hopefully between those three I will not lose any land. I have read that like a pro strat is to space them apart at a certain distance. So like, for example, this one, it's between two barrackses. So theoretically I should be able to remove that and not lose ground, but I don't really want to risk it. Like so. Now I have a sort of braided chain of paths leading all the way down here. Actually, if I get rid of that one as well. Braided chain of paths leading all the way down to this harbour, that should massively increase the rate at which stuff is transported. Here's another possible landing spot. What about that way? Okay, let's try removing this one, and hopefully I'm not going to lose any land. Nice. So that has freed up quite a bit of space for farms. Oh, would you look at that? There is a guy fishing. So if I landed here, because this is a landing spot, if I landed here, I'd probably be within spitting distance of a fishery. Interesting. On a small island in the middle of an archipelago, we discovered an enormous whale graveyard in which there were hundreds of gigantic skeletons. What an imposing sight. At first we were unable to understand how these creatures got there. Ericus explained that his people lived off these creatures and worshipped them as holy animals. This was why their bones were brought to this sacred place after they were caught. As everyone does, they caught all of their gods and ate them. Ericus is uneasy. He wants to leave because he is afraid of the spirits of the dead creatures. Well, here, those aren't whales. No, I'm fairly sure whales' skeletons don't look... Well, I mean, they don't have 4 legs for a start. Good job, Vikings. Let's see, what can I fit here? That's probably a bit too close for a farm. There's a good farm location. And one of these two. I feel like that's going to be a bit close. That might be a bit close to the road, but if I have the road going over that way instead. Alright, that should be all of the farms I need for now. 5 of them. Ah. Those 2 landing sites are the same island, probably? Yeah, the same island. Well, it's got stone, it's got wood, and it has mountains which, spoiler alert, have iron in them. So, dock here. What happens is the builder comes out with all of the stuff required to build a harbour building, and then heads home. And I want to set up one more expedition from here, because these mountains that you can see have gold in them. So I'll land here. Ah, my next ship is ready. The Mars. So unless they have an expedition to go on, these ships act as cargo ships. So when this is built, if I then say build a quarry here, it will have a cargo ship, pick up the resources from the harbour building, ship them down there and get them off. Because harbour buildings act as warehouses, they generate their own helpers, but builders and quarry people and all of that will have to come by ship. However, it does seem that I can't send an expedition from here. Can I get Neptune to go to the other one? No, I can't get Neptune to go to the other bloody dock. Oh, they both went in. Why did they do that? It's probably about time I got the next stage of my system up and running, which is a mill and a bakery. Expedition ship ready to set sail. Which one is it, Mars? Off you go, Mars. Head directly south. Do not pass go. Please land on that island that is full of the skeletons that are definitely not whales. We shall call the island Not Whales. Nice and easy. Okay, set up there. Fantastic. And now these two ships, and I think I'll get one or two more, because they are very slow, as you can see. I'll set them up so that they just run errands, basically. Oh, the yellow border has appeared, which means they are expanding. I think it's time I started stocking up and training some soldiers, so let's fill up that fortress. Now, my first island is done. Well, I do need to start off immediately with a barracks. So hopefully one of these ships... looks like Neptune's taking the bait. Oh, could be Mars as well. They load up. Oh, Neptune has got a single helper, whereas Mars has a single helper. Great, great contribution, guys. Thanks. Can you maybe sort of go... Oh, I see. That shows their destination. That shows where they are, and that shows where they're going. Now that the fortress is full, it's clear that I have basically run out of soldiers. So I will start promoting them. I'll get them all trained up. And in the meantime, I need to work on getting some more iron and stuff going. The Mars ship is carrying 2 planks, which is what's needed for the barracks. So you can see why I want multiple ships, and why ships are a bit of an ache, because they are just very slow. The next place is done, and I guess I start building a barracks here as well. Sadly, the water seems to be too deep to go across here. Either that, or you can only have a water route, I don't know, 4 long, but I don't think that's the case. I think it's just too deep. My barracks is built. Do I have any spare soldiers at the moment? Not many, and the ones that I do are high ranked. It's because I got a load of... You see, the downside of my amazing fortress promotion strategy is it does mean any barracks that is still connected to the network does get an extra random guy who is serving no purpose. So that's not ideal. But that is all of the natural resources on this island. Gets into this like narrow bridge that goes round to connect to here. And the mistake I made is the same mistake I made last time. Have a guardhouse as the only sort of entry point, so that they could attack me with bloody everything and I could attack them with 2 guys maximum. So I want to make sure that when I do attack them with 2 guys, they are generals. Oh, I can build a castle here. Ooh. Alright, I'm going to do that, because then I'm hoping that that might count as near the enemy. It'll definitely be a further forward point, and it might be a bit of a waste of stone. Oh, Apollo, cool. Might be a bit of a waste of stone, but how much stone do I have to play with? I've got 239 to play with. Oh, it has delivered my 2 guys, because of course it's 2 guys, because it's not on a border and therefore needs 2 guys. I'm going to have to turn that off shortly just to get my guys back, but in the meantime I need to expand some more. And this, I believe, is all iron, which is why I needed to come here, because I need that iron connected as soon as possible. And in this area, I'm going to have iron smelters, armories, and metalworkers. Hopefully what will happen is it will deliver the iron ore from here by ship up to this one, which will then get transported up into this area for processing. Just in time for 2 piglets. Look at the 2 piglets. It jumped right up, like that was a 0 productivity, and it jumped straight up to 37. So now I have this entire area where I don't really have much to do with it, so I guess, well, I would put a load more farms, but I've run out of sides. And I've run out of farmers, so unless I have the metalworks up and running, I'm not going to get farms. This is the inherent problem with the ship system in this game. I've only got 3 ships, and because they send exactly what is requested at any one given moment, they're not, like, I'd like it to stockpile a little bit here, but instead it is bringing exactly 2 planks down because I placed 1 barracks and then I placed 3 other things. No, this one isn't counted as on the border any more than that one is, but it does allow me access to this area, which is the only place on this island that has gold. So I'll stick a mint here and lay out some gold mines. Okay, well that's quite that's quite awkward. There isn't space to get past the fortress to build roads. That's really bad. Alright, I guess I demolished the fortress I just spent a load of stone building because it's too big.